Hello guys, John Fez here and welcome to this full flight video in the Fenix Simulations Airbus A320. Now if you've been watching my channel over the past week, I have been uploading some snippets of my live stream, but they have not been a full flight tutorial. So that is what I'm going to bring you today. We are down on the ground at Lisbon. I'm going to go down south for a little 30-minute hop down to Faro. The airplane is in cold and dark, as we'll see when we jump in. And we will get set up doing the cold and dark procedure. So battery 1 and 2. We can then turn external power on. Now here everything turn on. We can go IRS 1, 2, 3 to nav. Ground control, this is for our cockpit voice recorder. Turn that on. Cruise supply is the oxygen. Nav and logo can go to 1, doesn't matter which one you put, 1 or 2. No smoking, auto, emergency lights in arm. And there we go. Next thing we'll do is we'll come down to the AFB. Not you, thank you. Fenix app. We can import our load to our sim brief, so all of our figures. There you go. We've apparently got 16 minutes to be. So this time here, 16 minutes, is not your takeoff time, it is your off-block time. So what time you release your power brakes. You can cheat and release them early. I didn't tell you that, but there you go. So yeah, due to depart 14:05 and it's 13:49. So next thing is we'll go to mass and balance and we can load the aircraft. It's going to take 9 minutes. We'll do fast time. I find fast time works the best as you can set up the aircraft. IRSs take 7-8 minutes to align. Obviously got to input all your figures into the MCDU, so that's done. Next thing is we'll jump down now to the MCDU. FMGC, check your nav data is good. You can update this by the Navigraph Nav Data Center. Next thing is init air page. Hit init request, and you'll see the plane's bouncing about. Now it's not broken. It is the aircraft actually simulates people boarding, so you'll see the suspension moving, which is pretty cool. We'll clear them warnings. Tap is, I'm going to say tap, what's our flight number? I think I'll just put a random flight number in. Tap 768. Next we can go ahead and open our pilot brief app, which is this one here. And then we can sync our load sheet. There it is. It is all flawless, isn't it? 2.5. So we're going to look at our cruise select and temp. This is the easy OFP format. 250 minus 28. Minus 28. Cost index is 30. Again, I don't know what tap use IRL, so we're just going to go with 30. We'll sync our outside air temp with the ground temp in the MCDU, so 19. We're going to then go wind request. And happy days. IRS in it, I never touch this page. It will do it automatically for you. There's the wind data uplink. So let's have a look. Speaking of winds, let's see what the meta is here at Lisbon. But just a little refresh, we'll have a look. 350 at 18. Okay, so, and we've got 1017, 567, constraints, VORs. So 350 at 18, we're going to go for the runway 2, which used to be runway 3, now it's 2. That's changing the latest nav data. Back to, actually we can be lazy, we can go back to the Fenix app. And it's got our route here. So on the Troy 6 November. Troy 6 November, and we can insert that. Like I said, it's just a short flight, so let's have a look what we're going to be arriving into. We've got 320 at 14 knots into Faro, so arrival probably runway 28. We'll get this. I normally do this in cruise, but we'll get it done now while we wait for the IRSs and people to board and stuff. So Faro, we have. Let's have a look. So we're going for runway 28. Put that in the night. That's the ILS. Which one's that? Zulu. We've got Yankee. No RNP approaches. No, we do have a VOR. Okay, we'll probably do the ILS Zulu. Yep, ILS Zulu for runway 28. And back to Fenix. That's going to be the Ordem 7 Bravo. Any approach Vias, Gebty, quickly back to the charts. Gebty should probably be the fix. There it is. So we'll do the start onto Gebty and then onto the ILS. We'll insert that. Lovely. And that is the full route in. So let's jump over to the second MCDU at Suph. We will go AOC, receive, we'll do our flight in it. We'll get that initialized. There it is. Receive messages, load sheet. This is our prelim. So you get 2 load sheets, okay? You get a final load sheet and you get a preliminary load sheet. You always want to wait for your final load sheet to do your takeoff performance, enter your init B, because the figures will or they might change between the two. You might have a passenger who doesn't want to get on board. There might have been one too many in the owl duty free, or they might have been removed for whatever, or yeah, so the figures will change. So I always recommend to leave the init B and performance till right to the end after you've received your final load sheet, which comes 2 to 7 minutes after you have boarded. So speaking of boarding, let's go have a look at our mass and balance page. We've boarded 101 out of 157. We'll get this rocking and rolling. So let's go to the overhead. First thing, check your upper A cam. If you are still seeing refueling, then wait a little bit. Let's get these floods turned off as well. But we're going to go ahead, turn our fuel pumps on now. Seatbelt signs can come on and we'll start the APU and get that ready. And there we go, APU start. The flap is open and we can hear that APU start sounds. The sound set in this aircraft is fantastic. There it is. Beautiful, right? Open up my camera in the building. Okay, IRS align 1 minute. We've got 133, 157. With that, why don't we have a look at the checklists in the pilot brief? If you're struggling with the aircraft, it's always good to do the checklists. We're not going to perform it yet, as we're still waiting on boarding to complete and other stuff like that, and then we can do the checklist. Right, our boarding is completed. You'll get a nice little lovely notification here to say boarding is complete. Now, if you're a little bit lazy like me and you don't want to wait for the final load sheet to come, click resend load sheet and that'll send it to the ACARS. You can jump down now and there it is. So we'll accept that up. So we've got 58. You want to put the 0 fuel weight in on your init B page, so 58.8. Next page is your max 0 fuel weight, so that is the CG, so 30.5. Now we've got block fuel, we've got 4.3 tons on board. With that we can do the, we'll check up here, APU bleed, external power off. And we can check, we can do our before start checklist. So we have cockpit prep completed, barrel reference is set 1007, indicating 350 feet. ACARS is initialized, palm brakes are set, just check the upper E cam. Fuel on board 4.3 tons, init B is loaded, and we can now do our takeoff performance. So runway, so the AFB is going to say 3, and this will be updated periodically. So in the future it will say 2. Intersection data, probably take November 2. Right, it's asking for a flap 3. I'm not too keen on the old flap 3, so we'll see a flap 1. Flap 1's fine out of here. So there you go, flap 1. So now we'll go perf page. Flap 1 / down 0.2. Now in the real world, they don't normally put the trim in, but normally you're going to have your charts open on here or something, so it's always good to put the trim value in here, so you can just quickly look to your McDo after you've started your engines and set your trim. Flexing 68. And we've got 136, 136, 139. 139. There it is. Good stuff. Let's brief the departure. That's always good. Now we'll continue with the checklist. Speaking of departure, what is it? I can't remember. The Troy 6 November. Back to Navigraph. Lisbon departure. Troy 6 November. So we're going to be transitional 4000, depart right hand turn, and then down to Troy. I want to be above 6 at monitor, so let's set 6 on the FCU. Back to the checklist now. So we've got our flex temp 68, takeoff speeds 36, 36, 39. Clear to start, passenger signs on and auto, beacon is on. Transponder, you want to set this to auto, and we'll check the doors are closed and armed, which they are. Lovely. Right, we'll go ahead and connect the tug. Here it is. I'm using a little program called Pushback Helper, as we recommend not to use toolbar pushback, as it is quite broken in its current state. So we'll remove the GPU as well. We don't need that. So Fenix app, ground services, GPU, and then we can go back to here, the chat list. Okay, tug is, yeah, there he is, and we'll get GSX. Right, tug is connected. Let's go ahead, release our parking brakes, and start the clock, and we'll hit reverse on that. We want to be pushing back nose to the right, and then we can taxi down there. So on the taxi, EPU bleeds on, which is what you need to start your engines. I'm going to set the engine mode selector to ignition start. Stable pressure both systems is achieved. We'll go ahead and start engine 1. Engine 1, engine 2. It's just standard operating procedure depending on what airline you want to follow. Oh, look at that. Isn't she a beauty? Right, watching the N2 EGT. There you go, of course, in MSFS the tugs just like to leave you. So, lovely, fantastic push. We'll wait for a veil on engine number 1. There it is, and we'll go ahead start engine number 2. And who likes my snazzy blue cabin lights, eh? There we go. Whiff reveal. There it is. Ignition. Engine mode selected back to normal. We'll go up top. APU, please. APU off. Auto brake max. And the ground spawners. Right, after start checklist, ground equipment is removed. A bit preemptively, I will say. Anti-ice not required. Flaps config. We will set 1+F. Lovely. APU is off. Yellow electric pump. You would turn on your yellow electric pump if you were doing a single engine taxi, which we're not. So not required. Trims down 0.2. The flight control page. And trims down 0.2 and 0. Continuing on. Cabin doors are armed in ECAM status, so you want to check your status page is normal. Next thing is we'll do the flight control check. This is always a before takeoff item, but I'd rather do it now than later. Full left, full right, neutral, all the way forward, and all the way back. Neutral, rudder left, and rudder right. So in the aircraft, you can assign the nose wheel steering axis and utilize your tiller. So if I press that button in, you'll see now when I move my rudder pedals, it only moves the tiller. If I do that, you see it moves my rudders. So nose wheel steering axis binded to your rudder pedals, and you will enjoy much better taxiing. So that is the after start checklist completed. We can go ahead, brief our taxi. Best part about this AFB, one of the best parts, is the pen tool. Are you ready for this? Let me put that on there. It's a shame that doesn't keep the colour. So, we're going to taxi November Golf from Alpha Golf 1. Sorry, what was that? Golf, yep, Golf 1. Golf 2, left onto uniform. And all the way down to November 2 for departure. Pretty cool, right? That was meant to be an arrow, but close enough, right? I love it. I love this AFB. It's so good. There you go. Zoom that in. Right. With that, we'll go ahead. Taxi light. Takeoff config is normal, and we can release the brakes and add a little bit of power. And we'll make the right hand turn. Again, it was a dodgy push. You remove the iPad by clicking the microphone, so nice. Again, looking on the chart. So you do need a Navigraph subscription. Use the charts features, which I think I've had one for easily maybe 4 or 5 years. I think, yeah, 4 years maybe. And one of the best things you can get. So here we are, Golf 2, and then we can do our taxi to November 2 for runway 02. Okay, here we are approaching November 2. So what we'll do is we will have a look at the before takeoff checklist. The next right. Before takeoff flight controls check TCAS. Well, let's pull on to November 2 first. Put them brakes. November 2, runway 03. In case studios need to update the scenery. Right, we'll hold short here and run the before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist. So, flight controls checked. TCAS. TAR. Departure briefing is confirmed. We are going to be doing the Troy 6 November, and it'll be 6,000 or above. Just before we get to Troy. Takeoff data and FMA is checked. Got climb nav in blue 6,000. Flaps config 1, takeoff no blue. Entering the runway, takeoff runway is 0302, whatever it is. Let's turn our lights on, cleared for takeoff. And that is, I'm going to take the packs off as well. Taking the packs off gives the engines a bit more power for free. And that is the before takeoff checklist. Next one will be the after takeoff climb checklist. So here we are, let's line up. Quite nice airport, Lisbon. I do like flying out of here. Right. Let's remove the tiller. And we can start the clock. We want to push the nose down. You see that? And then we can give it 50%. Stable. I can get it into flex. There it is. Band flex 60 SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. There's 100 knots. So bring the nose level. V1 rotate. 18 knot wind from the left there. Positive rate of climb, gear up. There's nav. That scenery, stunning. Right, I'm going to make the right hand turn. Oh, it's bumpy. Let's go ahead, take pack 1 on. You want to wait 10 seconds between the packs. Let's thrust climb 6000 blue. And right hand turn now. The reason you wait 10 seconds between the packs, or there or thereabouts, is so you don't cause any passengers to have any ear popping. Right, we're past S speed. We can go ahead and go flaps 0. And once I've done that turn, there it is. We can take pack 2 on. Runway turn off, nose lights off. Really nice scenery out of here. And keep the right hand turn coming in now. We can disarm the ground spoilers. That's by clicking that in, so that'll be up. Just give that, there we are, that'll click down. We'll keep the right hand turn coming in. We're passing 4000, which is transition. We'll set standard now, passing flight level 43. Okay, let's check progress. We're going up to 250. Let's open climb that now. 23450. Set. Go ahead now, we'll take the landing lights off. There's no other traffic around. There we go, we can make the left level the wings now, inbound mono. Right, with that we can go ahead, switch on the autopilot 1, and now we can do the after takeoff checklist. So landing gear is up, ECAM is checked, we're clear to flight level, so we've set standard now, and that is all good. And that is it. That is how you do a full startup and departure in the Fenix. If the weather's nice and smooth, we'll go ahead and turn the seatbelt signs off at 10,000. Like I say, it's only a 30-minute flight. Being in the air 3 minutes. Obviously, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch all the 30 minutes of flying. We can actually have a look at our perf page. We actually have top descent 86 miles. So I'll cut the video now, and we'll be back just before we hit top of descent. And thank you very much for watching. Okay, so we've got top of descent in just about 15 miles. So first thing we'll do is enter our approach performance page. So we'll go check our meta, and we can now, you'll get a little message saying enter destination data. So approach, we've got 34014 knots and 27 degrees 1013. Faro, which is going to be our minima. Faro approach, we said we were doing the Islas Zulu, and it's going to be 218. So 218. You want to make sure you've entered your approach information, as it actually does change your top of descent, which we can see here by this white arrow. So we've got top descent. So normally when it gets to about 4 miles, I always like to start it. So let's have a quick look here what we're going down to. Flight 4,000. So we'll set 4. And coming up to 4 miles ish, we'll push it in, and then we'll get max descent at level 400. Which should just send us at 1,000 feet per minute. And then you'll see this little blue arrow pointing in. That looks like a bit of a heart rate at the start of it. That is when we will get back on profile. So if your green dot is high or below, you look for this arrow, and that will tell you when you will be out on your profile. There you go, that's coming in. There we go, we're descending nicely. Enjoy the views on the descent. So let's review our plan, and we'll see how we're doing this. So zoom this out a little bit actually. So we're just from Odemi, and then we've got Foxtrot Romeo 601. So we're going to be coming in and then looping round. That's nice, we'll get to see the airport. Next thing we can do is a question that I see a lot is, how do I work out my landing weight? So I'm going to show you, and it'll takes 2 seconds. So we're going in runway 28. Let's apply the meta. So if you go to your fuel pred page on your MiG2, you see your zero fuel weight, so 58.8, and you see your EFOB, so that is your estimated fuel on board. So you want to add that to that. That is it. So 68 it is. So I'm going to say, what's that? 61.6. Is that good maths? Yeah, looks good to me. Yeah, 61.6. So 61.6, and it is dry. And there you go. You get your performance. Easy as that, right? So you want to look at your performance, and then you want to look at the charts, and you want to see, you want to plan what exit you're going to be, you want to get off that. So let's have a look at the ground charts. Coming into it, that's fine, because we can easily take, you know, looks like maybe Romeo Golf. So it'll be auto brake low, idle reverse, and we'll probably aim for either Foxtrot or Romeo Golf. Either or is good, and then we can taxi in. Back to you, sorry. There we are. That one. Now if I click the right one. So yeah, that's looking good. Low auto brake, high reverse, flap full, auto throttle on, and that is good. We're making the left turn now, and we'll actually see the airport, which is just down there. I've never actually, it's been ages since I flew into I always say Faro. This is one of the custom built sceneries from Sobo with the Spanish world update, Spanish, Portuguese, Andorra, etc. Okay, we're about to pass through flight level 100, so let's get seatbelt signs on and landing lights on. Hello, compass. Turn off and nose lights can come on once the gear is down. So auto brake low is what we set on here. Oh look, we've got 20% battery remaining. Yes, the AFB does have a charge state. If it gets low, you'll plug it in. By clicking there and you can see it's charging. Let's see if it can last. So there we go, getting down to 250 knots. Obviously that's the restriction, below 10. And down we go. We'll turn on our landing system now as well. And if we look off the left wing, we get to see there's Faro. That looks quite nice as well, doesn't it? Okay, we're just making the left turn now, and we can now, we'll arm our localizer. The Fenix A320 has localizer pre-capture, so you will see that it is pretty good when it comes to stuff like this. So there's the decel point there, so that is when it should activate approach, and we can slow down to our final approach speed, which today is going to be 136 knots. So we're descending nicely. I'm going to pull the VS. I'm going to push us up to there, up to 250, because obviously we aren't managed anymore. There's lock start. Look at that. Look how much how good it's captured that. Lock start will activate approach, and then we should get glide start. There it is. Glide slope start. About to hit that decel point. There's decel going down now to 146. But when we're past 4,000, we'll set the standard. We'll set local pressure, which again is 1013. About to pass. There it is, 1013. Starting to slow nicely. We've got 12 miles. Let's run the approach checklist. Ecom status is checked. Approach type is ILS Zulu, runway 28, minima 218. There's localizer and glide. Approach phase is active, by reference is set 1013. Next will be the landing checklist. Look at that localizer, just, oh, it's great. Right, below flap speed, flap 1. Trick is in the Fenix. But once we get to 210 knots, you can actually set your flaps to 2, then back to 1, and it'll give you flaps 1 plus F. Because normally when you're on approach, setting flaps, it'll go from flaps 1 to 2 rather than from flaps 1 plus F. So as hopefully we can slow down. We're 9 miles, a little bit fast. Come on, baby. Might just give it a little bit of lever shame, just to slow it down a bit. Right, flaps 2, back to what? Oh, done it too early. Still done it too early. Still too early. Come on. There it is. You got to get it right on the 210. Flaps 1 plus F. That should give us the drag that we need. 7 miles. Ooh, bit of turbulence. And this approach though, look at that, wow. Nice, there we go, I'm going to take flap 2. Right, stay autopilot on. Make sure we arm, they're armed. Okay, coming up to 5 miles. We'll just slow it all the way down now. So let's go gear down with the gear, turn offs and the nose lights. Config 3, and we'll take config full. And then the landing checklist. Auto brake low, missed approach altitude 4,000. Ecam memo is landing no blue. That's the landing checklist complete. Clear to land. We've got 4 miles to run. You can see, you'll see the speed will adjust. That is what you call ground speed mini. So if you got a good bit of wind coming at you, it will adjust the speed accordingly. But wow, this is a fantastic approach. Yeah, Faro's quite nice. A little bit bumpy, 1000. Stable. Well, unless that wind wants to change things. Bit of a sink there, that was interesting.
500.
There's land on the FMA.
100 above.
It's Carmen, 14 knots on the right now.
Minimum.
Landing.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
We got safely down. Kick that rudder. Hit the reversers. And try and keep that on the centre line. Pitch the nose down. So reversers green, decel spoilers is up. There we go. 60 knots. We'll vacate right. On to Faro. That was an interesting landing. 32 minutes. And a nice long landing. There we go. What we'll do is we'll stop here, we'll set, make sure they're centered, which they are, and then set you, park brake set. And I love this part, is bringing up the flaps. Watch the mechanisms here move. Stunning, right? Right. After landing, so exterior lights, we'll set just taxi. Start the master APU. And start. We'll go ahead. Transponder standby. Oh, sorry, TCAS standby even. So, exterior lights set, flaps 0, ground spoilers disarmed, APU is started. Weather radar is off. Well, it's broke because MSFS doesn't work. TCAS standby, and then we can now release our brakes and we can taxi to stand. And what we'll do is we'll probably do a single engine taxiing as well. I'll stop the clock. It's 32 minutes anyway. I want to check something. There we go. We'll wait for that APU to start and I'll show you a single engine taxi. Quite fun. Keeps Greta happy. There you go. Once your APU is available, which it is, we can go ahead. Yellow electric hydraulic pump, and we'll shut down engine 2. A bit of power just to keep us moving. In terms of parking, I'm not sure where we park here officially. 13% on the battery. It lasted well. We'll pull into, we'll go in the main apron. So we'll take Alpha to Bravo and then in. Right, here we are, pulling onto the apron. So we'll go ahead, we'll go up top and take our taxi light off. And we'll go and pull on this stand. That's a heavy stand. Double jetway, we don't need that. We got 316. Be good for us. Now then, see how good my turning skills are. Not very good, single engine. Oh, bring that in. Turn it. So there we go. Be perfectly centered. Look at that. God, he's good. 737 E190. Oh, close enough. Does that work? No, it doesn't. It's a shame. And there you go. That will keep pretty much in line with the jetway. Right. Handbrake set. We'll go ahead and shut engine 1 down. Transponder off. Kick terrain off. So then you're going to get a little notification on the iPad to say commence deboarding, yes. Which will toggle the jetway and stuff. We'll set the external power. And we can say beacon, seatbelts, yellow hydraulic pump off. And there we go, arrival message. 1450. Happy days. Have a look on the Fenix app. There you go. We were actually 2 minutes, we departed 2 minutes before schedule, and we landed 15 minutes, arrived 15 minutes early. So there we go. We'll continue on with the shutdown checklist. Parking checklist. Yellow electric pump off, engines off, cabin doors are being disarmed, and beacon is off, seatbelts off, transponder 2000 standby. And there we go, ladies and gents. Full flight, start to finish, in the Fenix Sim A320. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like. If you enjoy the channel, we've got plenty of Fenix content. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. I also stream every week over on Twitch, twitch.tv/JohnFezza. If you want to watch me live doing this fantastic aircraft all around the world, really much appreciate it. And thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.